Good evening. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us this evening for our final community chat of the 2017-2018 school year. Absolutely amazed that we're here already. We've had an exciting school year with implementation of our strategic plan, passage of our levy, which I can't thank our community enough for. It's passage of that levy that is going to allow us to move forward, and that's what we're here to discuss tonight. We want to make sure that we, on an annual basis, are sharing with our community the progress that we're making with the collaborative plan that we put together the previous school year. So tonight's intent is to tell you what we've done over the course of the past year with the strategic plan. Also let you know that the direction that we're heading with the strategic plan. And the goal is to ultimately accumulate to a finalization of the plan in approximately another 3-4 years. And then we will revisit our strategic plan. So at this time, I'd like to go through each section of the strategic plan, beginning with instruction. So I'd like to turn it over to Tina Cassidy, who is our Director of Instruction and Curriculum.
Thank you. Well, we're real excited about the progress that we made for the strategic plan in our department. The first thing that we worked on was all-day kindergarten. It was our goal to bring all-day kindergarten to all incoming kindergarten students, and next year that is what we'll have, and that will be at no cost to the public. So we're really excited about that. So far, the things that we've done for that is we've had the kindergarten teachers come together, and they met to discuss their new schedules and ordering materials. They're all very excited to start this new program. We have had postings go out for 5 new kindergarten teachers, and principals have already begun the interview process for those. So we're really excited about our all-day kindergarten program. Another goal that we worked on is to increase inquiry-based learning experiences. We did that through some curriculum adoptions. So our CPM math program, grades 6 through geometry in high school, which is grade 10. So they will all have our CPM program, which incorporates inquiry-based learning experiences. And our brand new math program at the elementary school actually has the last unit of every grade level actually has a STEM unit built in. So all of our K through 5 will also be getting STEM opportunities through their math class, which is really exciting. Our new social studies adoption in grades 6 through 8, they will also have a STEM/inquiry-based unit that goes along with that, so we're very excited. And we also have a makerspace pilot planned for Garfield and Claggett. And a makerspace is a place where kids can go and they can create things to solve a problem. And there's different materials in there for them to do that. We're very excited. We're actually going to meet about that tomorrow, so those will be up and running in the new school year. And finally, we have a STEM program, summer school opportunity that our department worked on along with some of the elementary principals, and that is going to start in a couple weeks here. So grades 5 through 8, I believe, were invited, and I think they have up to 60 kids right now registered, and so that'll be a fun summer activity for those students. Another goal for student academics were to increase elective opportunities at the middle and high school. And we started by sending a survey out to all high school students and staff asking for what they would like to see added for new electives. And from that, we added French. So French will be another spoken language that we're going to be offering at the high school level. And that was per student request. We'll also be offering digital arts photography, also per student request. That was the #1 thing that the kids wanted to see at the high school, and we were very excited to be able to offer it to them. Other electives we added at the high school for next year, home maintenance, marine biology, intro to aerospace engineering, and intro to computer science. So we offered some really exciting new elective opportunities. Also, a lot of them were IBL as well, so that was a great way to incorporate 2 goals in the strategic plan at once. And then for college and career, things we worked on this year in our department was we created a capstone with the high school guidance counselors and the high school principal, Jeff Harrison. And and that project entailed getting speakers in and talking to the kids about writing resumes and interviewing skills. And then the students all participated in mock interviews, so that was a very positive experience for students. We also offered some college and career speakers during their lunchtime. We called that brown bag lunch speakers. We had some college information at Parent Ed Camp at the very beginning of last year. And we also, we just posted an additional college and career school counselor position that we're hoping to incorporate for next year, so that will bring additional programming. The other thing that we did was we offered a financial literacy, this won't be an elective. All of our juniors will get a financial literacy class next year, which will include some career exploration and also resume writing. So we think that's going to be a very great class for our kids. So our next steps, so the things that we're going to be working on next, we're going to continue to monitor progress of all-day kindergarten, make sure that program's going well. We're going to create a district-wide committee dedicated to researching and implementing opportunities for our inquiry-based learning. We're also going to be hiring additional staff, not for this next coming year, but for the following year. We're going to hire additional gifted staff at the middle school and high school to help us lead the inquiry-based learning initiatives at those levels. We have gifted staff currently at the elementary, so we want to make sure middle and high school also has that support. We are also going to another adding other world language options at the middle school. Those are going to be things that we're going to start to look at, and we'll consider adding another IBL elective at the high school for next year. We also want to, again, like I said, we're going to have the new counselor position, so we're going to look at developing additional programming, including individual future goal planning for all juniors, so that they'll have a solid career plan or college plan once they leave high school. We also have everything ready to initiate an academic recognition program this fall. So that was another part of our strategic plan where we wanted to begin to recognize freshmen, sophomore, and juniors. Right now we have a senior awards program, but we wanted to make sure that we were recognizing academic excellence at all levels at the high school. And so that's going to take place this fall, which is pretty exciting. And we also wanted to look at increasing extracurricular options for elementary and middle school students. So we wanted to look at and possibly get some more IBL after school experiences for them. And finally, we're going to continue work on creation of consistent homework guidelines across the district. At the secondary level, we're really working per subject area. As we do new adoptions, we're looking at what are our homework and grading policies. At the elementary school, we're working on that with our CDCs so that our homework policy will be consistent across all levels. So that's where our department's working on.
Good evening. I'm going to cover the community relations portion of the strategic plan. And this year was a very collaborative year, not only with our business community, but with our community members that may not have students in the school district, as well as our senior group. So to start with, one of the goals was to increase engagement with our business community. And this year, in October, we hosted a bus tour that took a group of business leaders throughout our district to kind of introduce them to our buildings and kind of let them see what we have going on in each and every day. We also collaborated with many of the groups that support our business community, such as the Chamber. We had students come in and perform at the holidays. It was a great way for them to realize just how talented our students are. We also work collaboratively with Main Street Medina and multiple businesses along the square to bring a month-long bicentennial arts show, which was conducted by students, and there were about 27 businesses that did participate in that particular event, and that was in March, which was very well received, not only by the businesses, but the community and the students and the families as well. I'll also continue to sit on the Main Street Medina Promotions Committee. That's something that I've been doing for a number of years and just continues to build that relationship. From the engagement with senior citizens residing in our school district, we continue to make additional connections with our Silver Sneakers, and that is a community group that kind of resides at the Medina Community Recreation Center. And they have meetings that happen about once a month, and we were able to come in and attend those for a short period of time to talk about happenings that are going on in our district, as well as talk about what our strategic plan looks like and what that means for them as community members. We also developed a recent relationship with our new senior community living area, which is the Huntington Senior Living, which is on Huntington. And we've been able to come in there and talk about things that are going on in our school district, talk about our strategic plan. We were able to talk and give them some information about our school levy. But recently we just had our high school jazz band perform there. So it's a really great way to, again, introduce our senior community to what we have going on throughout the district. And again, with student talents, we just recently had a group from Claggett Middle School that went to perform during their recent health fair. So there's multiple ways that we're trying to connect. From community engagement with community members that may not have students in the school district, we continue to increase our social media outlets, and this year we have added a YouTube channel. So there are a variety of videos from board meetings to band concerts to various videos that provide additional information about things that we have going on in the school district. So by way of social media, we've been able to share information with other community groups like our PTOs and other parent organizations that are on social media, and share that information with them so that they can put that on their sites and increase our viewership. And as I just mentioned, we also started doing a bunch of additional informational videos that are, again, on our YouTube channel. So be sure to visit YouTube and look for Medina City Schools. You can view them all there. They are aired on Channel 201, and they've been placed on our website. So there's multiple ways for people to view that information. Other community engagements, we've worked with the student service groups, both at the middle school and the high school level, and their advisors to provide opportunities for those groups to interact throughout the community. So we've been able to offer numerous volunteer opportunities for our students. I've served on the Bicentennial Committee, as well as chaired our own district Bicentennial Committee. This is a special year for not only the school district, but for the city and the county, that we're 200 years old. So it's been a rather large celebration. So there's information not only from the city, but the district as well. And we tried something different this year with our closing day with our staff, where we really tried to engage our students, our staff, and our community in thanking and appreciating our staff for making it a great year. Some of the next steps for engaging our senior citizens would be create a regular schedule of activities to engage our seniors, maybe not only within our district, but in their own facilities. Sometimes it's nice if we can go to them and present various programs. The intent is to research and create courses for seniors that could take place in our buildings, and the idea would be to possibly have students conduct those courses. Again, additional interaction with our students. Continue to collaborate with the Performing Arts Center to create additional opportunities for our seniors to enjoy the talents of our students. So we've had dinner and a show, various programs such as that. And I'd like to move forward and create a senior citizen advisory committee. Our seniors have a lot of great insight on what happens within our community, so that is one of the goals for the upcoming year. Next steps for community members without students in the school district is to research and review opportunities to provide district updates, distributing those through multiple channels, taking a look at what it would look like to do that by mail, by email, and other resources. continue community outreach through volunteering and attendance at community events, building awareness of our district, and continue and create community relations committee that consists of staff, students, administrators, business community members, and community members as a whole. So again, the theme probably throughout this entire strategic plan process is the collaboration between all segments of our community that support our school district. As far as the business community, we plan to continue district tours, maybe making them a little bit more project focused so that they can see what our students are doing to prepare for college and career, and that kind of falls in line with the instruction model. Research and create ways for business community members to provide insights to our students. So actually having them come into a class and again work with instruction to help them provide parts of the Brown Bag series and those kinds of educational opportunities for our students. And that's the year.
Good evening, I'm John Burkhardt. I'm with the business office, and I'd like to give you an update on our progress with facilities as it relates to the strategic plan. One of our biggest goals was to complete a district lighting study to determine the cost effectiveness of doing a LED lighting project for the district. That started by us doing an inventory and energy consumption study of all 13 district-owned facilities. And to give you a sense of how large that project became, we're looking at 31,000 lamps, light bulbs of all different types. And if you compare that to the average U.S. household, that's like 40 lamps in an average household, so that's like doing 775 homes. And in a school district, you'll find there's all different types of light fixtures. We have fluorescent tubular type lamps, we have compact fluorescents, we have metal halide, high pressure sodium, we have dimming incandescent lights, and we also have high output tubular T5 bulbs that you would see maybe in a gymnasium. So we did a complete inventory of all the light bulbs that we had in the district, as well as the ballast that drive those light bulbs. And from there we went to look at specifications for all those different types of lights. What we were after was the most reliable type light bulb. We certainly didn't want to get into an LED type lamp that hasn't been tested, gone through all the vetting that needs to occur to make sure that light bulb is going to be reliable in the future, as well as we wanted to find a lamp that had the lowest energy consumption. And then the final goal was we wanted to consolidate the types of lights we have throughout the district, so in the future, which the LED light bulbs will last quite a while, but in the future when we go to buy, we can buy similar bulbs, getting better prices by buying in bulk. Then after we were able to identify current consumption of energy versus the projected consumption, we went out and measured at the light switch what a room is drawing as far as its load, its amps, and its current and everything, and we documented it so that when we complete the process of doing the project, we can go back to that exact same room, get in that same circuit, and verify that there was an actual reduction in energy use. So after we completed all that, we went out and did sealed bids for the lamps, as well as the labor to come in and do the limited amount of wiring that's necessary to convert, as well as changing out and disposing of the old material the right way. Sealed bids were opened in December, and our initial project estimate, overall project estimate, was $1.9 million. Going through the competitive bid process, we were able to secure the entire project for 1.6. So we saved about $300,000, which converted our cost benefit. We did a whole study on how long will this take to pay for itself, this $1.9 million investment, and we figured it would be about 8.5 years, which includes all the costs associated with the project. Now, by getting our better bids, we're at 7.5 years, and in addition to that, First Energy does have a program that we have applied for to get an $80,000 rebate for reducing our consumption. Project's been underway for a little over a month now, and we anticipate having it completed in this fall. And that does include outdoor lighting as well. So I think one of the biggest benefits maybe you'll see in the community is that's going to be a much nicer appearance as far as lighting outside. The metal halide and those type of lamps put off more of that yellow kind of tone, where the LEDs, there's a nice bright white light that it puts out. As far as next steps, I got to get to my slide. I can't read it that far away. We're going to annually communicate our energy efficiencies of each facility to the community, and we typically will do that in a board meeting that gets televised, but we will also have that information on our website. If you go there now under the business office, there are a few links there that talk about our overall consumption and what we're doing to cut those costs. And just so it's in your perspective, we spend about $2 million a year with utilities, so it is a significant expense to the district, and it's one we focus on as far as reducing it, not only to save money, but it's good for the planet. The next initiative goal is to engage our students and staff in energy, and I've capitalized and waste conservation measures. The and waste is kind of new to the strategic plan, and that kind of came about by us working with Medina County Sanitation Department to put some focus on our recycling efforts. So not only are we going to work with staff on energy, we're also going to work with staff and students on proper disposal of waste. We're going to set up recycling centers in each school building. Some buildings may have two, like our larger buildings, high schools and middle schools. We're going to have billboards up to kind of educate everyone on what goes in what kind of container, and really try to step up our recycling efforts across the entire school district. And the last piece we want to talk about was securing an ENERGY STAR rating for each school building in the next school year. What that entails is us going through a number of hoops to get this government certification, but we're going to do it just to kind of level the playing field as far as when we're compared to another school district that has ENERGY STAR rated buildings. I'm more than certain that all of them meet all those qualifications, but we're going to go ahead and put the plaque at the entrance to I guess, back all that up. So thanks for your time tonight.
Good evening. I'm David Chambers, the treasurer of the school district. We have two goals here for finances for the strategic plan. The first is to continue transparency through communication regarding the use of district funds. The Medina City Schools is a $100 million organization. Annually, we receive over $100 million in revenues, and we expend roughly the $100 million itself. These monies come from general fund monies, from emergency levy monies. Those make up our 5-year forecast funds. The second most funds that we get are from the state, roughly $20 million. So you can see that of the two sources, we get roughly $60 million, $70 million from the two sources itself. If you go to our website, we try and put out on our website our financials on a monthly basis. If you go to our website, you'll see that we have 3 years back. I believe we may have a 4th year going back on there as well. And if you click on any one of those, you can see the monthly financials itself that are presented to the board for approval. That's always our first page there, the summary page. And the first 8 pages basically tell you what's happened for the month. You have the 5-year forecast, which is due here in October and May of every school year. And if you go to the 5-year forecast, you'll see that we have those out there going back for 3 years. And if you click on it, you'll see the general fund and emergency levy monies for the 5-year forecast itself. Those are the funds that have to be reported on the forecast. Forecast has to be reported to the state of Ohio. Then we have what is our annual audit. We have our auditors in here. It seems like 8 months out of the year, and Aaron will attest to that. Our auditors audit us on a yearly basis because we are a city school district. Again, since they're auditing us, they basically charge the school district to audit us, which to me doesn't make sense, but they have to do their job. They basically look at random sampling of the school district's funds, both revenue and expenditure. And then they put out what they believe to be information for the school and information on how the school district has internal controls and controls of all their funding sources. That we also place on our website. Then 2 years ago, I believe, maybe 3 years ago, the auditor or the treasurer of state came to our office and said that they had a new website that was going out there. It's called ohiocheckbook.com. Basically, they were looking to see if we wanted to join, and of course we did, because we wanted to be as transparent as possible to our community. And we upload on a monthly basis all the checks that the district puts out. And they then upload it, they divide it up amongst revenues and expenditure, they divide it up amongst the different types of expenditures itself. And you could go to the website, ohiocheckbook.com, and you could pull this up as well. I believe we also have a link on our website to it, so you could go to our website for that. So our financials are very open to anybody who wants to see them. We also have a second goal here, and that's to research and review all potential funding sources. The largest potential funding source that we have besides property taxes is money coming from the state of Ohio for school foundation funds. Again, this is roughly $20 million that the district receives. The state puts out an estimate here in July, and by January they're changing that estimate. And that's based on student numbers, that's based on community school numbers, that's based on any other information that's out there, valuations of all the different districts in the state and how we compare to the different districts. So it's an interesting read if you want to read all 85 pages of the school foundation. We also have our federal funds. Federal funds we receive through the state, but they're from the federal government. These are our title funds, and they roughly make up around $2 million that we receive on a yearly basis. We have to apply for them on a yearly basis. We have to put a budget out there to the state of Ohio. They have to approve it all before we could spend dime one. So we also have investment income. Our investment income has grown. If you've seen any of our school meetings on channel 201, you'll see that our investment income has grown over the past 5 years. We have collected nearly $1 million this year. When I first started out, we were collecting $24,000. So we have a finance committee that looks at all of our investments on a yearly basis. We have our broker come in and explain to our finance committee the portfolio itself. We have other grants here that the district looks at as well. McDack is a local grant. The Adams grant is a local grant. We have Fuel Up grant, which comes from, I believe it's a state grant itself. So, but we're constantly looking for new sources of income for the school district. We're constantly looking that the community can still remain solvent, or the district can still remain solvent and not have to go back to the community members for new taxes as long as we can. For the next steps are the same as the last steps, really. We're trying to be transparent as we could be. We have different forms of communication out there. We have board docs, which the board uses on a monthly basis. We also offer it to the community members. The district website, you could go on there. We've shown you at least 3 or 4 different areas that you could look for different financial information. Again, ohiocheckbook.com. That is the state treasurer's website itself. We have the ODE website, which offers all information concerning schools. The Auditor of State's website, which goes and shows any audit you want to see. Not only ours, but any school district, any city. And then, of course, we broadcast on Channel 201. So if you would look at the other funding sources, we're trying to look for new funding sources on a yearly basis, and that's what we'll do again next year. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Chambers. Just to wrap things up, two common themes that I think you heard over and over is collaboration and transparency. And those are two things we are dedicated to with all aspects of the school district, and they're vital to our success. It being good fiscal stewards of the community's money is more than just being fiscally responsible. It's also ensuring that we are spending money the way that our community expects us to. Thus, the strategic plan that we put together last year with the community has created the backbone for our near future within the district. And that was definitely confirmed this last spring with the passage of our levy, which allows us to implement all phases of our strategic plan. We want to be smart with implementation as well. We recognize that over the course of a 5-year period, there can definitely be changes, whether it's to the financial environment, the educational environment. So we want to have some flexibility with our plan as well. And each summer we'll be reevaluating our strategic plan as we prepare for the upcoming school year and making adjustments. We welcome the community's feedback as we work through that process. I would encourage anybody that has questions from today to email any of us, and we will directly follow up with you. Another option is visiting our website, and on our website there is a section where anybody can go in and ask questions. A school district is only as good as its community. We got an outstanding community. We need to have an outstanding school district, and I'm confident that we're headed in that direction. Again, thank you for your attention this evening, and go Cavs!